PSSD post-Finasteride syndrome recovery in 2025. Okay, this will be like the full-blown seminar. Okay, so it's like my reaction to other videos, okay, to treatments and so on, what has changed, what experience I have gained. Okay, so honestly I've seen hundreds of blood tests, so I already understand some connection. Okay, so I try to explain more in depth, like more like simple explanation of everything. Okay, so yeah guys, before you try to recover from PFS, PSSD pass, okay, so generally they have also like individual approaches, okay, because every of these has some others like harmful side effect, like PSSD is also affecting like serotonin receptors, autoreceptors, heteroreceptors. Okay, so it's not only about androgens. Okay, so it's a little bit more than the androgen itself. Okay, so also pass, okay, very high homocysteine, okay, specific vitamin B deficiencies, okay, I think B12, okay, so yeah, even PFS has own, you know, specifics, okay, like gut health and all these kind of things, okay, but generally, what is the issue? Most likely low DHT, low androgens, okay, so generally low androgens is the first thing, okay, in PSSD, done mostly about mitochondrial dysfunction, okay. In PFS, there is an issue with blocking 5-alpha reductase enzyme or also lowering androgens, okay. It also happening with things like Nizoral and so on, yeah. So generally low 5-alpha reductase activity and also low androgens, okay. So and based on that, you have also other things like low neurosteroids, okay, sleep issues, you know, different disbalances, okay. So yeah, before you start working with someone, doctor or someone else, yeah, do test, okay. You can do like hormonal tests, DHT, estradiol, prolactin, SHBG, total testosterone, okay. So do thyroids, okay. So do thyroids. Free T3 is really affecting 5-alpha reductase enzyme activity. It's not only about DHT, guys. You need to understand, okay? Everyone, you androgens, testosterone, DHT. No, it's also your thyroids, okay? Your thyroids are also IGF-1, okay? So that are the thing. Without IGF-1, you don't have upregulation of your 5-alpha reductase activity, even if DHT is there, okay? So you need to understand that, okay? You can do also inflammation test, basic things like CRP, homocysteine, ferritin, okay? Homocysteine, great thing. Homocysteine can affect androgen receptors, okay? So many guys I have seen test, okay, many guys PFS, PSSD, high homocysteine, okay, probably affected methylation. So if we are talking about epigenetic, all these kind of things, methylation is crucial, okay, so for all this DNA repair, everything, okay, so I don't want to really go deeply in this topic, but it's crucial, okay, and what you can do, the easiest thing is to fix homocysteine. Homocysteine is also crucial for nitric oxide, okay, so homocysteine means high ADMA. ADMA is blocking nitric oxide synthase, okay, so yeah, you definitely need to boost if you want to reverse erectile dysfunction, if you want to, you know, improve your nitric oxide synthase, and even if you want to improve your androgen receptors. Yeah, homocysteine is inflammatory markers, also is the lower you can get the homocysteine, like around 5 to 8, this is also anti-aging strategy in 2025, okay, so I do it for many years, okay. I use supplements to lower my homocysteine level. Even right now I'm using it, okay. So I do blood tests. You can do, like I said, homocysteine, B12 in blood, folate in blood, okay. So you will see a little bit more, okay. So Like I said, most of the guys' simplest solution is to fix DHT, E2 or prolactin. Some guys, even if they fix E2 and prolactin, they are good to go, because prolactin itself, E2, estradiol, they all block 5-alpha reductase activity. And also you need to think about that, for example, estradiol or estrogen pathways are competing with DHT pathways, okay? So if you will be able to lower properly estradiol, okay, so also your DHT activity can increase. The same for prolactin. Prolactin is blocking 5-alpha reductase enzyme. Prolactin is causing secondary hypogonadism, okay? So right now you don't need to think about like injectable testosterone, you know, all these kind of things, okay? But you really need to fix the basics, so do the test, okay? So yeah, also things like thyroids and so on, like I said, yeah? You have also specific tests, Dutch test, where you will find a little bit more about 5-alpha reductase activity, if it's going 5-alpha, 5-beta pathways, okay, it's crucial, yeah, to know. Because you may think, yeah, my DHT is okay, but if everything metabolites are going 5-beta pathways, then you have a problem, okay? Probably it is because of the inflammation and so on. So lowering inflammation will help here, okay? So big contributor to inflammation is gut, okay? For example, for me, I have gluten sensitivity, and this can, for example, affect 5-alpha reductase enzyme activity, okay? So what I can do, I can get rid of the gluten from my diet. It's very hard, okay? I try as much as possible, but another thing is to like fix endotoxin LPS, okay? Fix leaky gut, and this can improve a lot, okay? So also I can use supplements that lower inflammation, okay? So this is also a way to go, okay? But you know, this is band-aid, and fixing the root cause is like fixing the root cause, okay? Therefore I talk about things like prolactin, because prolactin, if you fix it, okay, I did also for myself, I was able to lower prolactin up to 4, I don't know, it's nanogram per milliliter or so, the unit. I was able like restart my own testosterone production, okay? I never touch things like TRT and so on, okay? So you can recover both naturally and also with things like, you know, TRT and all these kind of things, yeah? So, like I said, if no one is asking to do test, okay, so run away from these people, okay? Because it's not like general rule that you will have high estradiol, that you will have, you know, high prolactin. You also need to check for things like SHBG, because based on that, you can really start with the treatment, okay? Because, for example, let's say you have like very low SHBG and very low E2, and you will start Proviron or DHT derivatives, okay, you will run into problems, not because it doesn't work, but you are not the right candidate, okay? So also for things like TRT, HCG, okay? So I made a lot of videos on this topic, okay? So HCG in higher dose will be very, it will spike estradiol like crazy, okay? So if your estradiol is 60, 70, 90, how will you fix your erectile dysfunction? You will never fix, okay? So it will also work against your androgen receptors, okay? It can increase even serotonin, okay? It will work against your dopamine. So yeah, there is a golden rule for estradiol, okay? Not for everyone is the same, okay? But generally, testosterone to estradiol, there should be a ratio, okay? So 5 to 1, so like, I don't know, maybe not 5 to 1, my math is not good at the moment, but yeah, so like golden rule is to have like from 20 to like 40 for erections, okay? So of course, if you have like 1200 nanogram testosterone, 20 will be really low, maybe 30 or 40 would be okay, okay? Because yeah, a little bit higher estradiol means higher libido, okay? And but little bit lower estradiol mean harder erections, okay? Because estradiol itself, you also need to understand that it has effect on like venous occlusive system, okay? So it can create venous leakage, okay? Everybody thinks it's your veins, but most likely it's your estradiol that is super high and you cannot keep erections, okay? So that's the one thing. Mitochondrial health is a very common issue with PFS, PSSD, especially in PSSD, it's obvious, and also this is affecting your hormone production, okay? So mitochondria are helping with, for example, dopamine production, with testosterone production, okay, DHT, okay? So I already talked about one video from Vigoria Steve. They talk about with Dean STM, Dean St. Martin, they talk about NAD plus, okay? So yeah, it's very crucial, okay? But not only NAD plus, but also fix the electron flow, okay? So through whole complexes, okay? So you don't have some electron leakage, ROAs, okay, oxidative damage, because most of the inflammation will come from mitochondria, okay, and you really need mitochondria for everything, okay. So there are like cheap ways how to fix mitochondria from time to time, fasting, okay, not to combine high fat with high carb diets, okay. So also there are pretty great things like coenzyme Q10, PQQ, okay, so even boosting NAD. But boosting NAD must be done in proper way, otherwise it will compete with NADPH, and NADPH we need for 5-alpha reductase enzyme to work properly, okay? So, like I said, this is extremely important, okay? Mitochondrial health. This would be the first fix, because it's also for the future how you want to create your own androgens, okay? So your dopamine and so on, yeah? So that's crucial, okay? So also what is really bad is neurotransmitter dysregulation, okay? So we are mostly talking about GABA and glutamate imbalance, okay? So there are many ways how to fix it, but one guy asked, for example, why when he's taking like 200 milligram testosterone, he has these crashes, okay? It's because of this dysregulation, GABA glutamate. Even single supplementation with glycine, if you don't have the counterpart that will like break this NMDA receptors activation, even glycine can cause the crashes, okay? So yeah, guys describe this as crashes, but it's only like overactive glutamate, okay? So you can balance this, okay? So, and then you can use things like TRT and so on, yeah? So what you can use, okay, like I said, you can fix your mitochondrial health, you can use like natural things to boost your testosterone. I already talked about things like Silagit. Why? Because Silagit works really great on mitochondria, and okay, you will not get some super boost, okay? From my experience, like 150 to 200, okay? So there are also other great supplements based on the fact what you need to fix, okay? Sometimes even fixing homocysteine will raise your testosterone by 150, 200. I got guys that raise their testosterone naturally by 300 points, for example, by fixing gut health, yeah? So sometimes gut health is not so, so hard to fix. So this is also one thing what you can do, okay? Then we have also HCG, injectable TRT, both will spike estradiol like crazy, okay? And if you are not able to manage estradiol, you will run into problems, okay? You will not be able to recover, okay? Because like I said, we want to keep estradiol in certain ranges, okay? So therefore, from my point of view, testosterone cream is probably better options. It can be transferred, so you really need to take care about that, okay? So Also, you can combine testosterone cream with DHT gels, okay? So I don't want to mention again the one company on X, okay? So yeah, there are not so many good sources of DHT gels. For example, the quality fluctuate a lot, okay? So maybe sometimes you get the good one, sometimes the bad one, therefore you don't see any effects. I have different sources. Also, there is Antractim, okay? Generally, the rule is you don't need to have a super high DHT, okay? So one guy, for example, working with me, just using, supporting therapy plus testosterone cream, okay? The switch came after 12 months, okay? And it was just testosterone cream plus supportive therapy for 5-alpha reductase enzyme, glutamate, sleep, and so on, yeah? But generally, no need for injection. Testosterone cream will convert more to DHT, you need to understand, okay? So yeah, stay away from things like DHB, okay? So even I have seen even combination injectable testosterone DHB, they are competing for binding to androgen receptors, okay? You need to understand. So, and DHB has higher affinity, okay? So, but I never seen guys even taking higher dose of DHB, never seen it has been working for them. Also, you really need to understand, even if you take, because there are crazy idea like taking super high doses of testosterone, to reactivate androgen receptors, okay? But if you have super high estradiol, it will work against, okay? So you really need to understand, yeah? So guys, also check things like vitamin D, it's crucial, okay? So it's pro-hormone, vitamin D, okay? So you really need to understand that. Also, we need to know how to supplement properly with vitamin D, okay? But it's also pro-hormone that can have really great effect even on androgen receptors. But if it's low, also many guys I have seen, they have low vitamin D, even if they live in sunny countries, okay? I don't know, honestly, I don't know why, because of the gut, because of the less of boron, and so on. Honestly, I don't have an answer for that, okay? Other things, okay? Masteron, Primo, all this kind of Proviron, okay? So yeah, like I said, first of all, check your estradiol and SHBG levels, okay? So don't assume that, for example, your estradiol is high because you feel something or something, So always do the proper test before you take something, okay? So yeah, also I will talk about other things soon. So yeah, if you want to boost 5-alpha reductase enzyme, many videos I made on this topic, NADPH, okay? So also what we need NAD plus cofactors, so to reactivate 5-alpha reductase enzyme. Because also many guys, it's not like genetic block, but it's like some problem, okay? Even high homocysteine, if you lower it, and if you improve methylation, you will improve NADPH, okay? So yeah, what you can do basics, do things like homocysteine testing, okay? So yeah, sorghum, butea. Butea is, from my point of view, more like dopamine booster. Tribulus works pretty well, Bulgarian tribulus, okay? You need to take some time. It's not like, guys, for everything you will try, it's not like try for 2 weeks, doesn't work, I will jump to another things, okay? Mitochondrial health, 3 to 12 months is a fix, okay? So even with things like testosterone cream, you can expect from 3 months to 12 months, okay? So if you have like, if you, for example, have only like elevated prolactin, 5-alpha reductase is working, estradiol, you can have a fix quite easy, okay? You will add some nitric oxide synthase boosters and you are ready to go. But if you have several like issues altogether, okay, you need to wait a little bit, okay? You need to stick to one therapy and wait, yeah? So it's like with AKG, okay? AKG is a great thing also for like, honestly, I hate things like valproate, because valproate is a big toxin for mitochondria. Some guys feel better because it has effect on GABA, okay? That's the only thing probably. You also need to understand that valproate is like, can have effect epigenetically on broad spectrum of things, okay? And that is something we really don't probably want in long run, okay? So AKG, from that point of view, from my point of view, is much better, okay? You can also increase your endogenous butyrate, okay? So, and this is also HDAC inhibitor, okay? So androgen receptors, okay? Carnitine. I have a little bit problem with carnitine because if you have thyroid issue, it's not the best solution. That's why I always talk about do test, because carnitine and thyroid receptors are not very good friends, okay? Like I said, fixing homocysteine can have really beneficial effect on androgen receptors, even from like this epigenetic side, okay? So yeah, also AKG, I have good experience with AKG. It needs some time, okay? AKG can help also with all these DNA cleaning, has also like effects on like tendons and injuries like BPC-157, okay? So it also lowers peroxynitrate. You don't have that much inflammation in your body, okay? So also what I want to really talk about are the androgen receptors, okay? So you really need to understand that we have like this genomic, okay, and like membrane activation of or membrane associated androgen receptor activation, okay? So honestly, yeah, genomic AR binding or classic transcriptional activation, the strongest natural ligand is DHT, okay? So exogenous, endogenous, okay? So most likely the issue is that you are low in DHT, and therefore this there is overexpression and all these kind of things. It's crucial because with that we are affecting penile smooth muscle development, libido, secondary sexual traits, hair, prostate function, muscle growth, okay? So you need to really understand that we need to affect this, okay? So if you do injectable testosterone, okay, so testosterone is less potent than DHT, you need to understand, okay? So DHT is the strongest. Even with DHEA, you can activate, but it's weak. Androsterone, it's weak, okay? So the strongest thing is DHT, okay? Endogenous, exogenous, okay? So also DHT derivatives, okay, like masteron, proviron, DHT cream can have effect, okay? So we also have non-genomic membrane-associated androgen receptor activation, okay? This is fast signaling, okay, and they can enhance even genomic signaling, okay? They can boost dopamine nitric oxide in tissue and brain, okay? So it can be, there are several pathways involved, like SRC kinase, enos, NO production, CA2 plus influx, okay? So we can affect this from different parts, okay? So I was talking about halotestin, okay? So they can have an effect, but I think also like boosting nitric oxide, enos, that will also have an effect, okay? So the effects are like rapid vasodilation, neural firing, dopamine boost, okay, smooth muscle tone modulation, like for erection quality, and even increased sensitivity of androgen receptors, okay. We have things like, again, endogenous, exogenous DHT, because it naturally binds to both nuclear and membrane androgen receptors, halotestin, anadrol, okay, even mesterolone, okay, proviron. Yeah, like I said, first of all, you need to watch out for SHBG, estradiol, and the second thing is you need to try it like for 4 to 6 months, okay, to see to see the results, okay? DHT gels, high local membrane signaling in penile tissue, okay? These are also used in penile rehab, because you need to understand that if you are missing morning wood, if you are missing nocturnal erection, your penile health will be affected, okay? So yeah, even neurosteroids or DHT metabolites will have indirectly boost with androgen receptor signaling, okay? Aldosterone the same, but it's like weak AR ligand, okay? So there are also other things I mentioned also in other videos, like melatonin, okay, enos boosters, okay, IGF-1, yeah. So that these are also affecting you know, your androgen receptors, okay? So even when DHT is not that high, even activation with androgen receptors can help to fix. You really don't need to super physiologically high DHT in order to fix your issue, okay? So but you need to understand what's the normal level. Normal level should be probably around 80 to 100 nanograms per deciliter, okay? Most of guys, they have really low testosterone, and low testosterone as a substrate for DHT means you will also have a low DHT, okay? So, yeah, also like I told you, TMG as a metal donor support gene expression, fix homocysteine, okay? And it will also have effect on AR gene and so on, yeah? So lowering homocysteine is a good way, yeah? Okay, so another thing is like electrolytes, okay? So electrolytes, this is quite, electrolytes are disrupted, okay? So in most of this condition, there is quite easy fix, okay? So taurine, because it's cellular osmoregulation, okay? Taurine acts as a compatible osmolyte, okay? So you really, it spares magnesium, potassium, all these kind of things, okay? You can drink just good mineral water and you are good to go. You don't need something really specific. You need taurine. Taurine has also other great benefits, okay? Also better vascular tone, nerve conduction, reducing sympathetic overdrive, calcium regulation, okay? So, yep, it's really good for boners, okay? Because excess intracellular calcium is linked to like mitochondrial dysfunction, erectile issue, neurotoxicity, and anxiety, okay? So, and taurine gently buffers Ca2+, okay, and support nitric oxide enos, okay? So, yeah, so also taurine help retain magnesium, yeah? Also big thing is like histamine, you know, sleep, ADHD, it's also, I think, connected to glutamate GABA imbalance, okay? So things like vitamin B6, okay, AKG, they all can help, okay, to fix. Also for glutamate, for histamine, for example, there is easy fix, L-theanine, okay? L-theanine will also calm you down. L-theanine also balance dopamine, glutamate, but L-theanine is a really strong fix on, for example, also on histamine, okay? ADHD is also too much glutamate, okay? So guys, I am ex-PFS, so I can tell you a lot also from my own experience, but also from fixing other guys, yeah? So also, like I said, gut, in many guys, gut is really in bad condition, okay? You can do easy things, okay? So you really need to fix your leaky gut and block, you will block endotoxin, and also on top of that you can block endotoxin LPS, okay? So that's the probably also the first thing you can do together with mitochondrial fix, because gut itself can have really big impact, probably the second biggest impact on like inflammation and so on even on androgens, okay? So things like kestones or endogenous butyrate production. Sodium butyrate really just only for short period of time, but you really need to increase your own butyrate production, okay? So I also love things like pomegranate juice, okay? Akkermansia, all these kind of things, yeah? Also, I wanted to talk about 5-alpha reductase inhibitors because many guys, they forget this because they come to me and they telling me, you know, I'm not using anything right now and so on, but there are many even natural 5-alpha reductase inhibitors, okay? So not natural and also coming from supplements, okay? Like synthetic vitamin E, okay? Saw palmetto, astaxanthin, okay? Tay black ginger, okay? Campharia pariflora, okay? So reishi mushroom is strong. You really need to understand saw palmetto is strong as fuck, okay? So the same for reishi, okay? Green tea extract, pigeon, beta cytosterol. Many guys came to me, they've been taking this. It's strong inhibitor of 5-alpha reductase enzyme, okay? There are mild to moderate effects coming from things like curcumin, I think like quercetin, resveratrol, okay, nettle root, you know. So even, for example, guy who wants to increase NAD plus, okay, also NAD plus booster can block your 5-alpha reductase activity. Okay, so yeah, guys, that's it. Yeah, so let me know what you think. I'll try to explain this as much as possible.